with the Super Bowl coming up this weekend, a lot of people are thinking about football. We're thinking about it too, but in a different way than you might be. And we're going to relate in this episode of Friends Talk Financial Planning how the Super Bowl can actually relate to financial planning and investing. Hi, I'm John Shear, and I run a fee-only financial planning practice in Middleton, Wisconsin.
And I'm Bridget Sullivan-Mermel, and I've got a fee-only financial planning practice in Chicago, Illinois. John, before we go on, let's have everybody subscribe. That helps us with YouTube and helps more people find us. So please subscribe. We really appreciate it. It helps us stay motivated to keep putting out content and helping people. So John, one of the major things that's going on is the Super Bowl, the big game, and I think it gets a lot of people's attention, but you see it as a metaphor for investing in the stock market. Why don't you tell me more?
Isn't that somehow I think about the investing in the stock market and a lot of things. We talked about gambling and how that's like investing. Now the Super Bowl, we'll see what I can do with the Olympics when they come out, right? But so here's the thing that I was thinking about, and I think it's a really interesting metaphor, Bridget, is we get the Super Bowl, right? We got the two teams that are at the top of their game. We've had 18 or 19 or 20 games, and so now they've got 2 weeks to prepare for the big game, right? And what are they doing to prepare for that? Well, geez, we're looking at what my opponent has done all the way through, right? What have they done for all those games? What are their strengths? What do I think they're going to do in the game coming up on Sunday, right? But what's going to happen? What am I also doing as a coach is I'm trying to figure out, okay, I know that they're looking at what I've done and how can we do these things differently, right? How can we make changes? And what's going to happen on Sunday night is that one of the teams is going to come out and they're going to show something they've never seen before, right? The other team has never seen this formation, this play, this sort of thing, right? And to try to get an advantage. And the correlation that I see with that in people's financial lives is that we have history, right? We know what the markets have done as an example, right? But then we don't know what's going to happen going forward. Like what's going to happen this year, right? And in the football game, yeah, we're going to have these different, something new is going to come. So all of that history that we looked at isn't going to help us as much as knowing what we do well in those basics, those internal things as a team, right? The blocking, the tackling, running our plays, fulfilling our assignments, whether it's offense or defense. And it's how well we do those over the course of that 60-minute game that's going to determine the outcome. Same thing with our investing and our financial planning is we don't know what's the new twist is coming in this year's game, if you will. And how we're going to be successful is the basics, saving money, diversifying, rebalancing, following those things, which allow us to adapt to. It's not that it's not important what's going to happen, what twists are going on, but that's not what leads to success. So that's how I look at that, as the idea of like, how can we think about a big football game and how does that correlate to, some of these basics? It's the internal things that really make a difference.
It's interesting. I think that another way we can extend the metaphor is a lot of times with teams, they think this is young team, so they're going to be fast, or this is an old team, so they're going to be smarter and wiser, or same with a coach or the whole team is a whole. And you do act slightly different. That might change your game plan. So it might change your game plan a bit, depending on what players you've got and what the nature of your team is. But you want to kind of stick with your game plan. You might make some adjustments at halftime, but that's, you stick with the basics and you stick with your game plan. And even when something happens that's unexpected, you want to stick with what works.
I love that, and how you phrase it, sticking with your plan, right? So as an individual, we have a financial plan, we've got an investment plan. And yeah, we need to make some adjustments, right? When circumstances change, and largely our internal circumstances, maybe what's going on with recent in the markets, I bonds and having opportunities to take advantage of some things, right? Like what tax laws take advantage of some things, but we stick to what the basics are still that underpinning, right? Sticking to what works while not ignoring the rest of the things, right? It's not like you put your head in the sand, but those aren't the things that drive, right? What the other team do is doesn't suddenly I say, well, geez, I'm going to, throw the ball every time or blitz every time. If that's not what we do, yeah, we can adjust to those things. But that's a really great connection between those two things, is sticking with the plan, but being flexible at the same time and being aware, right? And too often, I think in the financial planning world, in the investing world, it gets flipped on its head, right? Where we need to be flexible and move all around. And then the basic, well, yeah, we can do that. But the real benefit, in people's mind is this adjustment. Whereas really, no, it's like, this is the core of things. Yeah, we can make some adjustments, right? But the core needs to stay the core. And that's, it's really evident, I think, for people that maybe follow football as an example, but not as evident in our personal lives.
Right. Great. I think that's a great place to wrap it up. So with that, I'm Bridget Sullivan-Ramal. I've got a fee-only financial planning practice in Chicago, Illinois, and this is John Shear. He's got a financial planning practice in Middleton, Wisconsin. And we ask once again that you please subscribe. Helps us out a lot.
That's right. Hit that subscribe button. And if you like what we talk about here on Friends Talk Financial Planning, Bridget and I are both members of the Alliance of Comprehensive Planners, a nationwide group of fee-only, tax-focused financial advisors. And you can check them out at acplanners.org to find an advisor in your area. Until then, Bridget, until next time.